Hi everyone, Arlene here. Welcome back to my Country Craft Corner and to episode number 3 in my Christmas Switch Out series. In this video, I will be showing and telling you how I finished decorating the kitchen eating area, and the powder room. I will demonstrate how I put together a few centerpieces and other little accent florals, share how I made a very quick little cream burlap wreath, and describe how I put a couple of cozy corners and shelf designs together. What you are seeing here is me packing up the remainder of my Christmas decor into this bin. Once I was finished, I was finally able to start doing the part of the Christmas switch out that I love the most, creating and decorating these spaces. Okay, let's get started. I will begin by showing you how I created 2 centerpieces. This one that I'm working on here is for the kitchen island. And then next I'll show and tell you how I made a lantern centerpiece for the kitchen table. Now, about this little centerpiece. I'm utilizing the same black wooden tray and wrought iron candle holder that I used for my fall and Christmas centerpieces. Now I was making it up into a design that will take me through the winter months and beyond. A pipberry garland, as is often the case, is the way I started putting this centerpiece together. I then added a pipberry candle ring to the holder and placed a candle. Next, I cut apart a red berry bush and added some stems to the mix. I finished it off by placing a burgundy Gerber daisy on either side and anchoring each corner with a metal star. I was happy with how it turned out, and so I moved on and started making the lantern centerpiece for the kitchen table. As you can see, I am reutilizing the same mirrored tray, large lantern, and red and white pipberry garland that I had used for my fall and Christmas centerpieces. I have staple pieces in many areas of my house, such as these. I reuse them with different accent pieces. These staple pieces travel through each season, and I try my best to transform them with ease. I started this centerpiece by placing a 3.5-inch wide by 9-inch tall luminara candle and red and white pipberry candle ring inside the lantern. I had made the candle ring simply by cutting a sufficient length of pipberries off of the same pipberry garland that I had used for the outside of the lantern and wiring it together to make a candle ring. I took a little time to fluff out the pipberry garland, and then I started adding the accent pieces. I anchored each corner with a resin Gerber daisy, and then I added burlap Gerber daisies to the 2 sides and to the back. Next, I added a family sign to the front of the lantern. Note, if you do this at your home, please be sure to have a candle that is tall enough, or set your candle up on a candle holder in the lantern so that you can see the flame flickering above the sign. As you can see, I stuck a burlap Gerber daisy into the loop of the letter L in the sign. I then added burgundy Gerber daisies on either side of each burlap daisy, and I snugged one in behind the sign and beside the Gerber on the front. To finish off this centerpiece, I added a bow topper to the lantern. I made this by creating a craft bow and adding in some pipberries. I pulled the berries around and through the bow loops. I folded a piece of the craft ribbon and snugged it into the pipe cleaner that I used to close the bow, and I glued the piece of ribbon shut once I saw how much I needed to fit around that bulbous top piece of the lantern. As you can see, it slips right on over and sits nicely on top of the lantern. Here's a look at the lantern from all sides. I really enjoy creating these big, bold, yet sweet centerpieces. It is so easy to change the look of the same staple pieces to match whatever design you are trying to achieve. I can't wait for you to see what I've done with the dining room centerpiece. I will highlight that little project in the next episode. By the way, I do own a duplicate tray and lantern combination that I utilize for the dining room table arrangements. Well, I'm getting close to the end of my redecorating frenzy for this part of the house here. There's the kitchen, here's the kitchen table, and there's the family room. Just finished doing the hutch a little while ago. I might add a little bit of something more to it. I'm not sure, but I'm a very symmetrical person, so everything needs to be symmetrically placed and balanced. I still have this down here to do, just this little cozy corner, and I'm getting ready to do this corner shelf. So I thought I would try to show you guys how I do it. This is, let me get up. There you go. You made it. Yes, you're a good boy. You're a good boy. Yes, you are. Here are some things that I just have set out. Not sure what will end up going in there. There's all the stuff I need to take into the garage. Excuse, still kind of messy. Things sitting around. So, but anyway, let's see what I come up with. I know I'm going to put this lovely tray. This is very heavy. My friend gave this to me for Christmas last year. And I know it is going to go right on this easel here, or picture holder, I guess you call that. And it's going to go on the top shelf. What are you doing over here, bud? You think you need to go outside? Is that what you think you need to do? All right. There you go. Here's what I ended up doing with that corner shelf. I decided to use that beautiful cardinal tray for inspiration. I tried to incorporate mostly reds, creams, and khakis when building this shelf's decor. I also decided on the fly that I wanted to make a burlap wreath to go along with the decor, and I knew that I had some cream burlap left over from making my cousin Stacy's Christmas present, a cream-on-cream wreath. Here's a quick picture tutorial showing you how I made up this wreath. It only took me about 20 minutes to make. I started with a 10-inch plain metal work wreath. I added the gold pipe cleaners to the crossbars on the inner and outer rings. Then I started to add cream burlap to the outer rings pipe cleaners first, looping it from one pipe cleaner to the next, making my loops about 10 inches long. I continued around the entire outer ring, and then without cutting, I transferred over to the inner ring and continued in the same manner until there was burlap in every pipe cleaner. I was able to find some red berries and flowers in my craft stash, and I made a tuft out of each one and tied them into one of the pipe cleaners where I deemed would be the top of the wreath. I then hot glued one khaki-colored Gerber daisy into the middle of the berry and flower tuft. Lastly, I made a simple bow out of some red burlap that I had left over from another project. I tied the bow onto the bottom of the wreath, and I used a command strip hook to hang it on the side of the shelf. My goodness, that made everything pop on that shelf. I am so glad I took out that 20 minutes to create this little beauty. My next project was to do a little something with these crates in this cozy corner that sits to the left of the kitchen hutch. I literally just grabbed up a few things and placed them sporadically about. This took me about 5 minutes to create. My next stop was the kitchen windows. We have 3 of them, and they look out to our backyard and the woods beyond. The windowsills are quite wide, lending themselves beautifully to a bit of country decor. That said, I don't put so much in front of them so as to block the pretty view. I made up 3 very quick little arrangements. One that I display in each window along with country plates, resin Gerber daisies, and a sweet little sign that reminds me of my mom, who we lost about 4 years ago. Here I am making up 2 small arrangements in tin containers. These 2 little cuties are for the side windows. And then I try to mimic the decor in this one vase. And then I always have that sitting on there. If tears could build a stairway and memories a lane, I would walk right up to heaven and bring you home again. Always think of my mom. So I always keep that on my windowsill. Okay, I'm mushy. Okay. Something obviously fell apart. Let's see. Looks like I just pulled this right on out, didn't it? Let's just try it. There we go. And all it is one big Gerber daisy burlap. I've got some pipberry picks back behind them. And then just 2 burgundy Gerber daisies. I think that looks. Chris has come to help me here for just a second. So let's start with this far window. There's our little fairy. She stays there all year long. And this one will sit up right in that corner. Gerber daisies, big fat resin ones, right beside these little boxes. Okay, so there's one window. I did clean them, I just don't find stuff. Let's do the opposite window now. Over here, the plate kind of mirrors what we did on the other end. And this little arrangement goes in this corner. And the resin Gerber daisy. The only thing left is this vase that goes right in the middle. And a little saying that reminds me of Mom, just goes right there. And I have 2 little stars here. 2 silly little stars, and I put them in each corner here in the center window. These windows crank out, so I really don't have to move too much, just maybe these stars if we want to open the windows. But there we go. That's how I do the kitchen windows. Well, I only have one more space to show you in the house, and that is the powder room. I didn't do a whole lot in here, but I did put my shelf back to normal again with just a little bit of country decor. And I replaced all my little snowflakes that I had here with my bird mini plates. And I put my big owl burlap wreath back up. I will be doing a voiceover video to let you guys know how I did this one, because I made this before I started my YouTube channel. So I'll make a voiceover for you all to show you how I did this. And just replaced some of the stuff on the sink. Little Behr. And that about does it. Excuse my dryer is on and running, and Sam's looking out the window. This looks out the front of our house. This is our laundry room. Chris did this whole room himself. This room was empty when we moved in here. Literally empty. We had the washer and dryer delivered. We sold our other washer and dryer with our other house. This was delivered the day we moved in. And Chris ordered these cabinets and the crown molding and the light railing, which is this portion right here, from, I think it's Cabin Kings online. And then and then he installed all the cabinets, uppers and lowers. This cabinet is for, guess what? Dog food. This is where we feed the dogs, and I iron and do laundry, of course. This is a multi tasking room for sure. I made that wreath. And then I made up this collage. Since this is kind of the doggies' room, I thought I would highlight them. And Sam is out here barking because, of course, he has to do something while I'm trying to do this. Let me let him out real quick. Do you think you need to go out again? I think this is the second time in this video that you've been doing this little door dance. All right, hurry up. It's raining. Hold on. It's raining. Hurry up. Go do your duty. No laying on the patio. Go on. You go do your duty. Good boy. Go ahead. Go ahead. I don't want him to lay down in this wetness. And the noobs have a habit of coming out here and just laying down on the cold patio. Okay, so while I'm in this part of the house, I might as well give you a quick overview of everything to end this episode, because I've finished this side of the house. I still have that side to do. Well, I've done it, and I have to put together the video. So, of course, this was our cozy corner and the credenza. I don't know whether I gave you a good look at that centerpiece or not. I know I didn't show you me putting it together, but it wasn't hard to do. And then the fireplace and the pitberry garland and that big fat wreath up there. And of course the staircase, pitberry garland. You know, one thing I didn't show you was this little area here between the kitchen and the family room. This is an old table we had years and years and years ago. It was actually this color. And Chris painted it and distressed it black because we knew we were getting all this black furniture. Did that right before we moved in here. And I just replaced, this is where I had all my ceramic Christmas trees at Christmas time. Just replaced all of those. And filled up that shelf. I did that little flower arrangement. Cute. And that's one of my favorite pictures. My mother-in-law gave us that after her mama passed away. It's of a mother reading to her 2 daughters. And we have 2 daughters. And then, of course, there's the kitchen. And the windows. And that's the what I did in here. There's that corner shelf. And that little cream and red wreath. This is the mudroom. I'm going to leave that up for the winter time, I think. It's got a whole tree in here. It's my mother's old shelf, old soap shelf. She used to make her own soap. And when you open this up, it smells of soap. And there's an overview of everything. These lights are kind of making it a little harder to see. There we go. My candle and my lantern hasn't come on yet because it's not dark enough. It'll come on at dark. Go off 5.5 hours later. There's Gracie. What you doing? Hi, sweetie. You good girl? Yeah. And there's pretty Sophie laying over there. And look what that little booger did. He laid down on that patio. Oh my goodness. Anyway, I'll go get him in a second. Let me finish real quick here. Here's that little cozy corner here beside. And then I have left to show you guys, other than the outside, that'll be the last episode, is this area here. Dining room and living room. I'll show you how I put that lantern together and that centerpiece together. I'll tell you about that wreath on the door and all kinds of stuff in here. So I'll be putting that together in the next couple of days. But for now, I'll just say, and Sophie will say, until next time, y'all take good care. Bye-bye.